Tiffany back in the house. We about to hop into the next Mental Health Monday topic. Yes, listen. This one is about therapy. So we're not going deep on this particular topic, but I think with a lot of mental health issues that people deal with or suffer with, therapy is a huge part of that. So that's why we're making it a part of mental health. And I've told you guys before, I'm trying to do a lot of different things with Mental Health Monday, because I don't want you to hop on Monday and they're always talking about the same thing. So if you notice, I've been trying to branch out into talking about very specific mental health issues like, schizophrenia, bipolar, ADHD, depression, suicide. So we're going into very different and specific topics, and then we're just trying to mix them up and just do different things that could just be relationship based, but the mental trauma that people can go through in certain toxic relationships. So we're doing a lot of different things Mental Health Mondays, y'all. I want to keep you all engaged and not just being the same thing where I'm talking about, check in on people, are you doing the work, and all that stuff. So this one is definitely going to be about therapy. It definitely plays a huge part in mental health. And the main thing I want to ask is, what do you feel about therapy? We come from a race where it's always looked down upon. Like, no, we're not doing therapy. Nobody's getting into therapy. We don't do therapy. Therapy is not for us. We hash and bash out our own issues, and that's just that. Which is true. Those things are true. But we've evolved. And we live in a world today where people are normalizing mental health topics, mental health disorders. We're talking about them, we're discussing them, we're laying them out on the table. We're being real, authentic, genuine, and honest about our mental health struggles. I talk about mine on this channel all the time. You guys have learned so much about me and my mental health journey. There's no shame in it. We are who we are. We are wired how we are. And there shouldn't be any shame. Some people are still treading those waters of being comfortable or not to speak on, or even to be aware. But that's just how I'm wired. I like to know things about myself, what's going on, what's not, how can I tweak it, work it, and how can I manage it. That works for me. It doesn't work for everybody else. Some people don't want to know what's going on. They just want to walk around in whatever discombobulated space they're in, and they're cool with not knowing. To each of their own. I am not a person against therapy. Therapy just doesn't really work for me. And I think I've talked about it in another video. For me, it's mainly because of the fact that I am so self-aware. And I used to say it as a joke all the time. I don't need to go sit down and talk to nobody and pay anybody to tell me about the things I already know about me. That's what it is for me. Have I been in therapy? Yes. And the therapy that I've been in one case, not so much the therapy helped me, but the person I was connected with really, we meshed. But I'm not against it. I think it is for any and everybody that feels like they need to tap into it. Go forward, get yourself into it, and don't live in that space where we used to hear black people don't do therapy. We don't get into therapy. It's not for us. We don't do it. And not even about race so much. Because you could be a person that was just raised in a household of whatever, whoever your parents were that raised you. You could have been adopted. And it was a thing, yeah, we don't do that. Not what we do, we don't, yeah. So it's just something where I say, if you need to do it, get into it. There's no shame in therapy for most of us anymore. There's no shame in it for a lot of people. It works, it helps. And I still stand on what I believe in for myself. And that's why I say it's such a self-provoking thing to do. Like, you have to do it for yourself or not. And I'm not above it. I'm not against it, because, again, I've been in therapy where I connected with a person. We really had some very deep intellectual conversations. But I also feel like it's for a person that feels like there's something going on, don't quite know, can't quite put my finger on it, don't want to talk to family and friends, and it's a biased opinion. It's a professional biased opinion unbiased. I think it's unbiased is the word I'm looking for. No judgment. Um, and I promote it 100% because again, I love for people to be in tune with who they are. Please don't be walking around here with something going on you don't know and you don't care. Please don't be walking around here with something going on and you don't know and you don't want to know. Like you don't know and you don't want to know. Like that's problematic for me. Go find out, do the work. All my mental health videos on Monday, I'm always talking about doing the work. In some capacity, you hear me say that, do the work. Are we doing the work? Please be doing the work. If we're not working on ourselves, then what the hell are we doing? Let's sit in that. If we are not working on ourselves, what are we doing in this life, on this earth? What are we doing? We stand in the same raggedy spaces. And I said raggedy, I did, because sometimes we're in raggedy spaces. And we need to evolve and do better. We need to be in a better space, a better mindset. Headspace got to be right. You people say, happy wife, happy life. If mama not good, ain't nobody good. You know, all those little coined statements that somebody's made up and created. It's kind of the same thing, but I like to look at it just self-preservation. If my mind ain't right, nobody around me is right. That's definitely how I see it. So I say get into it. So again, I say it is just one of the ones I wanted to tag onto mental health because I'm always doing something different. And again, when I say it's not for me, I still promote it. I still say that because I have to promote it because I do mental health Mondays. Every single Monday I drop a video about mental health. There's no way I would ask people to do the work and it not include therapy if needed. Because everybody can't do the work alone. It's not possible for everybody to do the work. I'm not saying do the work like go out here and read Google or go out here and talk to friends and family. Sometimes doing the work requires that professional voice and whatever it looks like for you though. It's just whatever it looks like. And I say whatever it looks like, meaning whatever your struggle is, whatever it is that you are going through, whatever you think. A few things I want to kind of make a little light of. A few things I don't like about therapy is they always go back to your childhood. Whatever you're dealing with as an adult, they always like to go back to your childhood and figure out what that trauma, which it makes sense. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel like everything is not based upon a childhood trauma. I don't believe that. That's one thing I don't agree with it. I don't think everything is. Some things happen as an adult. You triggered and traumatized by some crap that happened as an adult. So I don't like textbook therapists. I don't. Please deal with me in the reality of today, in what my life looks like today, what might have happened 10 years ago as opposed to when I was 8. So that's just, but again, it's like, to me, I always say it's like a relationship. You have to connect yourself with the right person that mesh well with you. I've seen a person or two, baby, we clash walking in the door. So it's so many components to it. So I say, and I'm an energy reader. It's the weirdest thing. It took me years to understand what that is. My intuition, my energy read. It's so real. And I used to joke as a child, because that's how long I've done it, and say, give me 5 minutes with a person, I could tell you so much about them. I said it as a joke. As a full-grown woman, I grew into that intuitive mind. I grew into it, and now I know it's such a real thing, and it's so true. So, yeah, I could be sitting, and therapists could walk in the room. I can tell you, 2 minutes, we're not gonna mesh, and I'll never be back. Or they could be sitting, and I walk in. I could tell immediately if we're gonna mesh or not. It's weird. That's how I am with anybody. Be in the grocery store, in the theater, Walmart. I can't explain it, and we're not talking about that today. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't really have much else to say about that particular topic. I had some topics today. I lost my topics today. So I had to recreate what I'm going to talk about today. And that's how therapy got on the list. It wasn't even on the list. We was not talking about this today. It wasn't even my brain. But yeah, I had to create some stuff. I saved and composed all of my topics last night. Woke up today. I don't know what happened to that Word document. That joker was not there. So a lot of these topics are just off the top of my dome today. Some of them I remembered. Most of them I did not. Because once I drop stuff on paper, I don't have to think about it or remember it anymore. So those things left my brain. But anywho. Um, I hope you all can drop some engaging things down in the comments. Talk about therapy that you might have had. Of course, we're not going to talk to them about it because therapy is so confidential. We're not going to talk about what you were in therapy for. But if you believe in it, agree to it. Why not? What therapy looks like for you. Why you think people should go. Why you think, forget it. Don't go pay nobody to figure things out yourself. What do you think about therapy? Again, I don't need it. I promise you, I could tell you every piece of me that is good, great, and bad. And I feel like a person that can figure out most people not going to tell you nothing bad about themselves. People are not doing that. They just want to tell you all the great things so you can like them. I don't care about being liked. I want you to have authentic me. So, in that being said, I'm going to just say these two things and then we're going to wrap it up and hop on to something else. In being aware of, as I stated, the good, the wonderful, and the bad about myself, I have my temperament is horrible. When I'm triggered, and I talked about my OCD, how I get triggered, that's one thing. You could trigger me to like blurt out something, and I gave an example of somebody's about to wreck in a car. I may be like, oh, watch that, watch that car. That's one way I yell out, but it's like kind of involuntary because I'm trying to get your attention real quick. So it's abrupt and it sounds like I'm yelling at you. That's totally different. Make me mad? I don't need to talk to a therapist about anger management. Do I have that problem when triggered? Excuse me. Do I have that problem when made angry? I already know I have that problem. I have an anger management issue that I can take to a different level that most people won't be honest about. Because people want you to go, I don't get angry. That's a lie. Hell, if I said that. It's a lie if I said that. So, yeah. And then the other thing about myself, I was going to say two things. I can be your best friend. I am down like four flats. I will take your deepest, ugliest, darkest secret to our grave. I am that ride or die chick. I can also be your worst enemy. That's the ugly truth about myself. I don't need a therapist. And I'm not saying those two things about myself to be cute or to brag or boast about having a not so pleasant personality. I said it to be authentic, to be genuine, to be real, and to let you know why I said therapy is not needed for me because I'm aware. Therapists want to pull out those dark, deep things and your problematic things so we can talk about them and work on them. I don't need a therapist for that. I deal with people in the most kind way. So that's the space I'm always in. I'm going to keep giving you grace. I'm going to be polite and kind and friendly and wonderful and all those things until you take me to another place. Then you see the other person. And a therapist can't stop me from being that other person. Do you see where I went with that? A therapist can't stop me from being that when I've been fed up with your behavior towards me and I'm sick and tired of whatever you're doing to me and with me and not respecting boundaries and I've had enough and I got to get with you. A therapist can't save you. That's it. That's all. That's why I say I'm aware. So I manage my anger. I manage those things that are not so great about me. I manage them. And as long as you don't poke the bear and let me stay in that pleasant, cute, sweet space, that's who I am. There is somebody else you can meet. And I promise you, you don't want to, and I don't like her either. But she lives within me. I can't get rid of her. She lives within. I just got to keep her suppressed and keep her down there. And just say, hey, girl, nobody's calling for you. There ain't nobody sent for you. Stay there. Y'all, let me get off this topic because y'all done got the clowning. And I don't usually clown on Mental Health Mondays at all. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for watching. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Keep watching. I will see you all next time.